Welcome or welcome back on WatchAdvisor on YouTube with me, your host Alexander. And in the picture is the watch. I'm doing a hands-on video now, and this is the IWC Schaffhausen Portugieser Chronograph Automatic. Now the first time offered and available with a beautiful steel bracelet.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
If you do so, you have the chance to win the brand new iPhone 12 Pro. The happy winner will be announced in the community section tab January 2021. Good luck! This is of course not a new watch. Those familiar with the brand IWC Schaffhausen recognize immediately the Chronograph Automatic and the face of the watch since it was introduced in 1998 as the reference 3714-3714, as the automatic chrono has not changed. We still have exactly the same watch with the 30-minute counter positioned at 12 o'clock, with the running second positioned at 6 o'clock. The indications on the dial: IWC Schaffhausen Chronograph Automatic, the applied numbers, everything is identical as it was from the beginning. And for those who are really into it, know that IWC started or presented the first time in 1995 the Portugieser Rattrapante as a reference 3712-3712, and 3 years later in 1998 this as the automatic chronograph followed as the reference, as I just said, 3714. So after the Rattrapante there was a push piece here, an additional push piece at the position of 10 o'clock where you could measure a split second. This was the automatic watch that followed, and now the first time the watch is presented with a steel bracelet, a beautiful steel bracelet in fact, that perfectly fits and matches the sporty character of this chronograph. Also new, for those who are already a little bit aware of what happened in the last year, the chronograph now finally got its in-house movement. So no longer an external movement that has been, of course, reworked by IWC is used. So now the Calibre 69355 in-house developed and by IWC Schaffhausen in Schaffhausen manufactured Calibre is used. We can also see it through the case bottom. I will show you, of course, more pictures showing this much better. For those who now say, oh, Alexander is telling us stories about a watch that didn't change. Okay, let's do a little, let me show something. There is my personal reference 3714. This is a watch that is in my collection since 2001, and it is exactly the same watch. If you look on the dial, there's a little difference. We can see that the anti-reflective treatment at the time being was not as good as it is today. We do have anti-reflective treatment on both sides today, and this was here only underneath the glass, so we do have some reflection. But as I just said before, there is a 30-minute counter at 12 o'clock. The running second is at 6 o'clock. IWC Schaffhausen and Chronograph Automatic. And if you go and look at the typo, I put both watches now in on the screen. Look at the typo. It's exactly the same. Nothing has changed. The sizes, everything is the same. So this is really a design icon. This is a watch that is so cool and so successful. So there is absolutely no reason and no need to change anything. Look, precisely, you can see there are no differences. Still 41 millimeters the case, the lug-to-lug distance, 47 millimeters on both watches. The one on the left side, the new one, 2020. On the right side in your picture, a watch from my collection dating from 2001, 19 years old. And this watch already, when I bought it, was 3 years old, in the terms that 3 years before it was officially presented. So the height or the thickness of the case, 13.1 millimeters. And we still have those applied indexes. So everything as it was and everything as it should be, since you never touch running or winning team. There's nothing to do here. Next, what we are going to look at is once again the bracelet, and of course I will explain you a little difference in between the movements. There have some changes being done. I'm right back. I will now show you some more details about the new bracelet, the steer bracelet that comes with the watch, with the Portugieser Automatic chronograph. You can see the surface. There are some polished and some matte surfaces. You have links in the middle. These are the links in the middle that are polished, and the outer side of the bracelet is matte, so brushed and not polished. So this is how it looks like. It's a folding clasp. You have two buttons you have to push unless it's opening, then it opens on both sides. Butterfly, as you call it, a butterfly clasp, folding clasp. They are not my favorite ones, because always wearing them on the wrist or closing them when you have the watch on the wrist, it's always a little bit, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those butterflies, but they are good. Maybe not good for me, or I don't simply like them, but this is nothing that should bother you. Here is from the side, you can clearly see it. You close one side and then you close the other side, and then there's a solid click. Yeah, you heard it, and it is closed. Looks good. The bracelet is perfectly integrated. You can see it's perfectly integrated here in the case, and really looks good. So now, if you're asking, is there the possibility to make some quick changes in the length? No, there is nothing available. It's a standard folding clasp, but this bracelet is super technically high-tech, intelligent in terms of you see some little buttons I'm zooming in. There you go. So you see some little, there you go. You see them, and no tooling, except no technical tooling is needed. You just need, let's say, something that is not scratching the stainless steel bracelet to do a little manipulation, and you can easily, by pushing down the button that is in your picture, you will release the pin, and then you can slide out the pin, and then you can take out one of the links. So that's really no rocket science. In contrary, that's can easily be done by a piece of wood. You just have to bring it to a size that you can push the little button. I have some plastic tooling watchmakers use to do such operations, to not scratch, and I will now show you how we can quickly take out the link and shorten the bracelet. And this is what I have to do, because I will do some wrist shots later. And in fact, the bracelet for me is a little bit too long. So watch me now taking out a link and shortening the bracelet live on your screen. So doing all the handling with gloves and live in front of a camera, always there is a chance that something is not looking perfect. So please forgive me if something happens already now, but in theory it should work. So I've been focusing already on that little button here, and you can see this is a plastic tooling on the one hand side, and you have a little, there's the second part of it, so you can screw something without harming it, and this is a pointer in plastic. You can't harm any material, and then you see I am pushing in. You see you can push, so you even hear it. And by pushing down, I will hold now, and I will come in with a second tooling. I can simply slide out. Have you seen the movement? I can slide out the pin. That's easily possible. So I've been releasing, and I will turn around, and you see these are the pins that have been sliding out. And now with the gloves, honestly, I will not be able to do it. and I'm using a little help here, and I will just take them out. Yeah, they are a little bit, yeah, that's typical when you show something, it is not as quickly going out as it should. I will still push here and then slide it out, and then it should be really, yeah, you see, they were not completely released, but now easily without any, yeah, additional rocket science, engineer studies or whatsoever, you just take it out. And then you see, there we go. The bracelet is dismantled, and now I can take out one part of it. I will also have to open up, still have to open up another part. So we have to press again on the button, and I will have to use the tooling again, and I can slide out. You see the pin on this side, and it should, with a little, you see here the pin, it is there. Hope that will focus, and again I will just now take it out easily. You can see easily, was my fault. You have to continue pushing. So dismantling is so easy, and so if you need to adjust the length, you don't need big toolings. Something like this, maybe wooden, you can do yourself, or one of those in plastic will help you to do the operation. Having opened up the bracelet now gives us full visibility through the see-through case button on the new Calibre 69355 of IWC Schaffhausen. That's a fully integrated automatic chronograph caliber, and it is a column wheel with tilting pinion system, and you see the column wheel clearly here. There it is, and if I apply or push on the start stop push piece, you will see the column wheel turning. There you should clearly see it. Also good to mention, when I'm doing this operation, starting and stopping the chronograph, that the sensation when you touch such an in-house built, designed, built and manufactured column wheel chronograph, that there is one exactly defined point where you can feel it on your fingertips, and then you will start or stop the chronograph. It's not an undefined area where probably you will start or probably you will stop the chronograph. It's one exact defined point, and then you start and stop it. So automatic, I said that already, automatic, you see the rotor here. We do have engravings on it, IWC Schaffhausen, the logo of IWC Schaffhausen Probus, a Schaffhausen IWC made in Switzerland. So you clearly see this on the picture. I'm trying. There is one little thing I can show you. You always wondered, what is anti-reflective treatment doing? Look, I'm turning the watch around, and look now. There are almost no reflections. And if I turn it back, you see those reflections now? The glass, the sapphire glass, has only a anti-reflective treatment in the inner side, but not on the outside. And so there you see there are more reflections now than on the other side, where you have a perfect anti-reflective treatment on both sides of the sapphire crystal. So this is a nice opportunity to show you this. Yeah, in-house movement. Then still on the case, if I have it in the camera here, we do have International Watch Company with the abbreviation Charlie Oscar CO, then IWC Portugieser, and chronograph, the word chronograph here, a reference number, and yes, waterproofness of the case is 3 bar, 30 meters, not more. That is a little bit of a flaw. I would say 60 meters would have been much better. But yes, you have to add gaskets, and probably you would have been adding more thickness to the case, making it more waterproof. The 30 meters are the minimum you should get on such a watch. but honestly, or in my honest, or in my humble, let's say humble opinion, 30 meters, yeah, they could have done better. You also see when I'm holding the watch this way into the camera that it is a domed sapphire crystal. You can see this now. And there is also the Probus Schaffhausen, the Probus Schaffhausen logo on the crown. And this is also one of the main differences to my Portugieser chrono dating back to the year 2001. All IWC Schaffhausen fans and connoisseurs know naturally that there it was always a fish on the crown on the IWC watches, indicating that the case is waterproof. So the original one had a fish. Now there is the Probus Schaffhausen logo on it. And all the old ones until it has been changed. I don't know which year it was, but it was some years ago. They decided to take away the fish and replace those crowns with the Probus Schaffhausen logo. But if you look at the watch, the same domed sapphire crystal, there is no difference. The case is identical to what you have seen before. But yeah, no see-through case bottom. Why? Because at the time being, IWC bought the ETA 7750 chronograph movement and modified it and did some improvement, did some technical modifications also to the escapement to have a better chronometry, to give the watch more accuracy. These were improvements done by IWC, but the old chronograph, the one you see now in the picture, has a Valjoux 7750, and when you shake the watch you have this wobbly sensation of the oscillating weight in action. And all of you who know the 7750 of course do recognize this, because the rotor of the 7750 is not a bidirectional rotor, but it's only charging in one direction, and if you are accelerating it to the wrong direction, it will just run and not charge. Energy will not be transmitted to the barrel, and this makes this wobbly sensation when the rotor with all its weight is just turning freely without being in the gear train to transfer energy to the barrel. So that's that wobbly sensation. And of course, the new movement is a bidirectional winding rotor. You don't have this wobbly sensation anymore. Let us together once again look on the dial, the wonderful dial of the IWC Schaffhausen Chronograph Automatic. We do see a stainless steel case. I told you already, around it or surrounding it, a quite thin bezel. I don't think we can even talk about a bezel. That's a very thin bezel, and this gives the watch a very large opening of the dial and makes it really look fantastic. And this is what also gave the watch that typical look. The ultra thin bezel. Now, design-wise, companies or manufacturers come back to that style, and they are now making those bezels look more thinner, and this gives the watch a very good and huge dial in terms of size when you look on it. In German, we say, that's a German expression, and we say die Zifferblattschau. I am not completely sure how to say this in English, but it is the view on the dial. I didn't find any translation for it, so that's really that view on the dial. You see, it's a silver-plated dial. You have blue hands and appliques, so the hands are blue. Depending on the light coming on the dial, they might, when you look at them, either appear blue or black. That's subject to the light falling on the dial. Let me share some pictures with you where you can see how it looks like when I stop the chronograph. So I already talked about this really perfect sensation pushing, and then the chronograph starts, It is not a flyback, so when the chronograph is running and you push on the reset button, nothing happens, as you clearly see now. Nothing happens, you have to stop it and then you do a reset. Watch out, all the hands will be aligned, the central hand, and of course the 30-minute counter will be aligned now perfectly, and there you go. Absolutely correctly aligned, no cheating here. It's really high quality done by IWC Schaffhausen. And there's one little difference I also want to show you. If you look on the dial today, all the hands are blued hands, the central second belonging to the chronograph, and also the chronograph hand, the hand of the 30-minute counter of the chronograph. They are all in the same color. And in 2001, when I bought mine, you see a little difference. Yes, they thought to do it a little bit differently. So they gave the hands of the running time, or the running time indication was in gold on this style. So you had golden hands, the running seconds and the time indication, but you clearly see that the hands belonging to the chronograph are blue, so they are distinguished color-wise. So for a very quick and without doubt identification which part of the die belongs to the chronograph, the way of doing it in two colors is always the best one, and this is the very traditional way of doing it. So watchmakers have been doing this for centuries, distinguishing the chronograph hand from the minute hands, or hour hand, or second running second. Probably not centuries, but a couple of 100 years ago. So this is something IWC could improve. This would be possible by probably giving the tip of the hand a little red, or the end giving a little red tip, and also here a red tip, or giving it a little color. So it will be more easier in terms of pure design and yeah, beauty. That's okay. That's not a deal breaker for me, but it's something I wanted to mention you. Okay, also interesting is, as I just said, the difference in the start-stop feeling from the chronograph I have with the 69355 and the Valjoux 7750. It's of course not the same. The sensation is there, of course, there is that 1 point, but it's not the same feeling when you start-stop this chronograph. And this is not a question of maintenance, since this watch, of course, is like all my watches, perfectly maintained, gets serviced and so on. So that's not a question of being used or broken, but it's absolutely not the same. It's not the same feeling. The difference in between a column wheel chronograph and an in-house chrono, and it's also a difference of, yeah, another 10, 20 years of knowledge in manufacturing, designing and conceiving such a chronograph movement. That's really, smooth, perfect. There we go. So now I dare to reassemble the bracelet in front of your eyes. You have been seeing me dismantling the bracelet. These are the components, the parts of the links I've been taking out because the bracelet is a little bit too long. I will put it on my wrist to make some wrist shots then. I've been taking out some pins, and yep, now it is time to reassemble it. I will take away what I don't need. So I don't need the links, the part of the links I took out, but what I need is, yeah, the two ends, of course, that you can clearly see now. Here are the two ends that should go together. And of course, the pin, here it is. And I will insert the pin in here. And once it is correctly, yeah, now it did insert correctly. Wow, I was lucky. I will push down the button and then you see it is in there. There's again no magic. You simply have to find something that enables you to push down that button, and then you are easily able to take out those pins, so that's really no rocket science, and it is, yeah, done. I've been shortening the bracelet and I'm now able to wear it, and I will do some wrist shots of the Portugieser Chronograph, and I want to show you the watch on my wrist, how it looks like, and enjoy. So now it's time for a wrist shot. On my 17 centimeter wrist you have the IWC Schaffhausen Chronograph Automatic, now with that perfectly integrated, in the case integrated, new stainless steel bracelet, and you can see how the watch perfectly sits on my wrist. Yeah, IWC, the logo here is engraved in the clasp, in the butterfly clasp. I will zoom in, there it is, and you see you have some polished links and some brushed links, and the polished links are of course mirroring the sun. I'm filming in the sun here, and you see, but the watch looks, I would say, good. 41 millimeters on my wrist, looks really good. Yeah, I don't have big wrists, but I like to wear big watches, and I'm used to have this size of watch on my wrist, and I even had it already starting from the late 1990s and the early 2000s, when watches got bigger. I started really to wear those big watches, and I had lots of fun doing it, as you can see. Yeah, looks good. The watch is quite thin, not too thick, and very sporty look now with that new metal bracelet. A very good, yeah, sporty look. There's a dog barking in the background, of course. Must have been the case when I'm filming outside. Of course, there's a dog or a car or a truck passing by, as always. But this is how it is. That's life. So once again, the look. And I will show you in comparison how the one I have in my collection since 19 years looks on my wrist. This is the comparison for you. 19 years earlier, 3 years after the watch was officially introduced by IWC Schaffhausen as the Portugieser Chronograph Automatic. That's how the watch looks. Still a beautiful watch. Since the design until today did not change at all. I've been showing you this. You have the same watch on your wrist as you buy today, or the other way around. You get the same watch as you were wearing years ago, to be precise, since 1998. So this is 2001. Yeah, that's the version with a silver dial and golden hands. I already quickly showed you the difference that on the chronograph hands on my watch do have a different color. So the chronograph hands are blue and the hands belonging to the time indication are golden. So this is a first nice way to distinguish the chronograph hands from the hands showing you the time. But still, again, let me show a nice watch. And now it's up to you to say me, and this is what I want to ask you, to go in the comment section and tell me what is, which one is in terms of strap, leather strap. One could also apply a tissue strap. IWC has tissue straps. You could also wear it with a NATO. I did that. Which one do you prefer? What would you say? Is that steel bracelet, that new steel bracelet, really giving some extra to the watch? Let me know on the comment section, and yeah, let me, with a last shot on the new one, say goodbye to you. IWC Schaffhausen Portugieser Chronograph Automatic on my wrist with the new steel bracelet. Here's the comparison once again. Let me know in the comment section which is your favorite steel bracelet, leather strap or tissue strap. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sharing the time with me so I could show you the new watch, and see you very soon back here on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. Bye bye from now.